All right, so if you have a drum that you've been having a hard time getting in tune and has a used drum head on it that's still in good condition, then it probably means that you need to reseat the head. And basically, probably what happened is that the drum was not tuned or tensioned properly over time, and parts of the head are lower than others, or parts of the head are higher than others, and you're just not able to get it where it's flat and balanced all the way around the drum. So really the only solution, so long as your head is still in good condition, is to take the head off and reseat the head. So first step, take the head off. Now, assuming we're going to reuse this head, you'll want to kind of go around in an even manner as far as how much you detune at a time. We don't want to just detune one lug all the way and pull the tension rod out and then go to the next, because that could actually damage the head as we're trying to take it off. So we just kind of, go around and give it about the same amount of turn on each tension rod to loosen. I'm doing like a half a turn each time, which, feels about right. And then we just keep going around. And then once they're basically all the way loose, we can go around with our fingers and loosen them all the way. Okay, so once we had the tension rods all the way out, we'll just pull the whole rim and head off the drum. And since we're here, maybe just check out the bearing edge and make sure there's nothing stuck on the bearing edge, dust or pieces of sticks or whatever that could be causing issues. Make sure there's no dust or pieces of wood or whatever in the drum. You can kind of empty that out if there's anything in there. And then basically I do like to separate these just so I make sure I get it right from the start. And also try to put the head on the same way, usually. Not always the case, but you look at where the brand logo is here and you just remember where that was on the drum and you just put it back on. Now, I just kind of put it back on the shell like that, but I'm going to press in the middle, in the center, fairly hard, and just make sure that it's actually making contact in a balanced way all the way around the shell. Now I put my rim back on without hopefully moving that head too much. And just set that on there like that. We'll do that pressure in the middle again in a second, but now at this point you can get all your tension rods lined up with your lugs and sort of start them, threading them in a little bit. Make sure the rim is in the right spot and all the holes are lining up. And then you just go around by hand. It's the reverse. You just screw them in with your fingers. But at least for now, don't screw them in tightly. Get them to a point where they just barely touch the rim, but don't try to turn them in at all quite yet. Okay, so I'll just do that now. Sometimes they can be a little stubborn, so you might need a drum key to help you start. Okay, so I get them just like that. They're still loose. I did not tighten them down on the rim at all. If I were to do that and do it in an uneven way at this point, then the head is not going to seat correctly. It's going to end up lower or higher in places, and then we're just, we're not fixing the issue. So you do have to be kind of mindful in this process. So you just get them down to where they're just touching, but they're still loose, they're not tight. Okay, so now once I got them down and touching but not tight all the way around, I'm going to do another little pressure in the center of the head. Make sure that's still balanced and flat and touching the bearing edge in a balanced way. And then what I do is I go opposite lugs with just my fingers, and I tighten at the same exact time, making sure that they're being tensioned evenly on both sides. And I tighten them down as much as I can with just my fingers. No drum key yet at this point. So this one was not threaded in quite as much. I can see it. So I'm threading that one so it's the same as this one. And then I'll just go down evenly at the same time. And then I'll just go around again and make sure they're all finger tight, the same amount. Okay, now essentially the head has been reseated. It's still very loose, but even there, it's kind of in tune, even though I haven't tensioned it up with the key yet. Okay, so at this point, you would just approach the head as normal tuning practice, which I will show you in the next video.